What it is, what it does, what it do, YouTube. Infamous Harrison here, coming at you with another controversial video. Okay, folks, so today I'm gonna be talking about an issue that SJWs and gaming journalists have an issue with, and that's females in video games. They're saying they're not the main protagonists, and there aren't any main protagonists. Well, today I'm going to go and discuss that and a little something I like to call the trouble with female characters. Alright, let's go back to 1989 when Sega had debuted Golden Axe. Now with this game Golden Axe, it was a hack and slash beat 'em up. Now one of the main protagonists was Tyrus Flair. She's one of the main female protagonists in the game. And Tyrus was introduced as a princess turned Amazon in the original Golden Axe game, or I should say in the original Sega Golden Axe game, because I believe in the arcade version they said that she was already an Amazonian princess and that she was the last of her kind because Death Adder, or Ader, however you pronounce it, forgive me if I'm pronouncing it wrong, had pretty much killed all of her people. She was like the last of her tribe, the last of her kind, and she, sought out revenge. And then in 2008, during the PS3 era, they tried to reboot Golden Axe, and they had just Tyrus Flair, just her alone. They didn't have none of the other characters there, and I believe, what was the name of that game? What was it? Beast Rider? Yeah, it was Golden Axe Beast Rider. That really didn't get a lot of acclaim or the fame that they were hoping for. In fact, it was very controversial. A lot of people did not like that game at all. So other than that, Tyrus Flair has been one of the most popular early heroes in the hack and slash beat 'em up genre. So it's crazy. She's a pretty much an icon, So there you have it. You got Tyrus Flair, a character from the 80s. She was the main protagonist, warrior princess. Hey, she stole the show. She was a fan favorite. Everyone loved her. Alright, let's jump ahead to 1991, and Sega had once again created one of the greatest beat 'em ups of all time. They were successful with Golden Axe. They had huge success. And then in 1991, they did it once again with, in my opinion, one of the greatest beat 'em up games of all times. I think that would come in as number 2 on my list, because number 1 will always and forever be Double Dragon. But okay, getting back to the topic at hand, Streets of Rage. Streets of Rage was absolutely, it was amazing. All right, especially during that time when it came out. Blaze Fielding, she was one of the main protagonists. She was one of the OG characters in this series. She was in all 3 video games. She was in Streets of Rage, all 3 Streets of Rage games, 1, 2, and 3. And it's like, the first one, no one had a special ability. Everyone just called the police. That was like the special ability. It was calling for backup, and the police would come and shoot projectiles and destroy your enemies. But during the second and third installment of the game, of the series, it was like everybody's moves were unique. They were special. It was crazy. But Blaze had, she never really changed. I say the only thing that changed was pretty much her hair. Well, if you notice, like on the first Streets of Rage, her hair was black, but if you look at the gameplay, like her hair is brown. I don't know why they did it like that. I think they did it because I think they was gonna have her be one thing, and then she turned out being a whole nother thing. So yeah, So pretty much with Blaze, well, she started out being an ex-cop, ex-cop slash vigilante, helping Adam and Axel defeat Mr. X and the crime syndicate. And then in part 3, she became a private investigator, or I should say a private detective, really. And also, too, did you all know that Mace from Fighting Force, let me backtrack a little bit. Fighting Force was supposed to be Streets of Rage 4 for the PS1, but Sega turned down that idea, so it ended up being a standalone game. The reason why I'm bringing that up, because if you've played Fighting Force, like one of the female characters on there, Mace, was supposed to be originally Blaze Fielding from Streets of Rage 1. But, okay. Getting back, Blaze Fielding was well received, amongst, the gaming community. She, everyone liked her. She was a fan favorite. And also, too, she was noted as being one of the first strong female heroines in video games, especially on the beat 'em up, platform. So here we go. So far, we have 2 strong female main protagonists in video games. You had Tyrus Flair, and then you have Blaze Fielding. So I'm trying to figure out where in the world these people get this idea from, that there were no strong female characters then and there are no strong female characters now. I mean, there were plenty of strong female characters back then, as we can see thus far. However, okay, let me get back to talking about Blaze. I mean, what is there really to say about Blaze other than, like, okay, as far as like gameplay wise, playing as Blaze Fielding, it was like she may not have been the strongest, but she was the fastest, and also she did a lot of judo throws, which gave you a lot of freaking points. So other than that, all in all, Blaze Fielding, she deserves a "you go girl" moment, because I mean, hey, look, she's the greatest, strongest female character of all times, and you know what? I'm okay with that. And you know what also is like really awesome about this is, like, Streets of Rage 4 is coming out, and I've seen the trailers, and she's gonna be in that too. She's gonna be again in the 4th installment of the Streets of Rage series. It's like, I am so stoked for this game, and it's like, I can't wait to go and play as Blaze and Axel. And they also have Adam Hunter's daughter, what's her name? I think, what, Sherry or Cherry? Either Sherry or Cherry, I'm not sure. I think it's Cherry. But I saw her trailer. She has a guitar and everything, and it's like, that is so freaking cool. I mean, but Blaze Fielding, I'm sorry. Again, I keep getting off topic. I'm so sorry. It's just the Streets of Rage is so iconic and so, like, memorable. I'm just having like flashbacks of like playing this game. I had some very good memories with this game, and like I said, Blaze has been, she's become a fan favorite, or I should say has been a fan favorite, and like everybody was okay with her. So she was a strong character. She could kick butt, take names, but at the end of the day, she still acted like a lady. But seriously, folks, alright, so far here we have 2 strong female characters that everyone seemed to have loved here. So far you have Tyrus Flair, and then now you have Blaze Fielding. Like, these women were freaking amazing, and they killed the beat 'em up genre, and people still talk about them, and people still love them till this day. Okay, now this lady needs no introduction. If you don't know who this lady is, you must have been living under a rock. So if you're not familiar with who that lady was, or who the picture of the lady that you saw earlier, that is none other than Lara Croft, aka the Tomb Raider. Now everybody knows, every gamer knows, or if you new to gaming or you lack the gaming history, let me just tell you, Tomb Raider was released in 1996 for the Sega Saturn, PlayStation 1, and MS-DOS. See, that shows you how old this game was in 1996. But the gameplay you're seeing right now is Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris. Well, the only reason why you getting gameplay of that because I didn't have the Tomb Raider reboot, because I never really got around to purchasing it. I'm sorry, my bad. But anywho, yeah, Tomb Raider, yes, that is pretty much the OG game. Lara Croft is like the OG female character, you know, of the mid to like late 90s. Is it 1996? It was like another, here we go yet again, another strong female protagonist in a video game. I know a lot of people didn't really like her or care for her because they were saying she dressed provocative and all that. But if you ignore, you know, her wardrobe or whatever, like her character and her personality, it was unique. It was different. She was confident. She was smart. She was witty. I mean, and she could kick butt. Another girl that could go and kick butt. A lot of critics have said that Tomb Raider, the very first Tomb Raider, was like the greatest video game ever made because it sold over 7 million copies. And this game had so many spin-offs and reboots, so mainly like spin-offs, because I wouldn't say spin-offs, but they had, I think it had been rebooted. They tried to reboot it in 2006 with Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness, but that really wasn't like well received. So yeah, and let me see, I'm trying to think what else, because I'm trying to remember like what else I had, because I had stuff written down and I'm trying to get it all together. Like, I'm a little tired right now, so I'm sorry I kind of like paused for a second. But okay, yeah, Lara Croft was an archaeologist adventurer. Yeah, like in the first one, she was an archaeologist adventurer working for a businesswoman named Jacqueline Natla, and she was trying to find this thing known as a scion or a scone to find the lost city of Atlantis. Like I said, the first Tomb Raider was a really awesome game, and like I said, this is another example of another strong female character that was in a video game. In the 90s, it was in 96, but I know, like, y'all probably wonder, alright, well, what about now? Are there any strong female characters now? Or any main protagonist female characters, like, currently this year? Hold on, I'm getting to that. first, I wanted to go back to the past a little bit and show you all that there were strong female characters back then, and they knew how to write them very well. But okay, I want to touch on that a little bit later on. There's a little foreshadowing, so just keep that in mind. But okay, as far as like Lara Croft, you know, as a character and everything, like I said, the original one, she was smart, she was an archaeologist, she was witty, she, you know, was adventurous. But then in 2013, they did like a reboot of her, and I don't know, I didn't really care for the reboot because they tried to have her, I don't know, it seemed like they were like, I don't know what the heck they were doing with this reboot, to be honest. And let me see, when was that reboot made? I need to go and see. Oh yeah, 2013. They tried to do a reboot, and they made Lara Croft younger, and they had her shipwrecked on a mysterious island, and they were saying they had her being vulnerable and desperate, and it was like going off of like survival instinct. So I don't know, you all be the judge on that one. Like, did you like the old Lara Croft where she was witty and adventurous and all snarky, and she always had like little quips and things to go and say? Or do you like the reboot Lara Croft where she's scared and vulnerable and like, oh my god, I'm gonna die? I mean, I'm not trying to poke fun at this character, but it's like, I don't know, to me it's like the remake character, I didn't really like that character. She was like, I'm not saying she's supposed to just be confident and I know exactly what I'm doing, I'm gonna get out of here. But it's like, I don't know, maybe it is a generational thing or something, maybe not, I don't know. But I kind of like the old Lara. I mean, like, this new one might have to kind of go and grow on me, but fact of the matter is that both characters, the old one and the new one, you know, they were main protagonists. They were strong, you know, they kicked butt, they did their thing. And I have to say, like, both of them were written well, because like the old one, like I said, I like how the old one was written. The new one, I mean, I guess they had to kind of change it up a little bit. They made her a little bit more realistic and not like, I guess, all Mary Sue-esque, where like she has no problems or anything like that. So there you have it, folks. Lara Croft. And last but not least, we have Kasumi. Kasumi has been quite a bit of a controversial character, but nonetheless, she is one of the main female protagonists of the DOA series. It's like, not only is she one of the main protagonists, but it's like, well, yeah, she is the main protagonist in the series. Like, I had it in my notes, like, yeah, she pretty much is one of the main protagonists in the DOA series. She, again, another one, OG character, has been there since the first Dead or Alive, which debuted, it was like the arcade debut was like, what, 1996? And I believe like the PS1 debut was what, 1998. And she was there, and when she, in the first DOA, she set out to go and get revenge on her uncle, who was Rydell, and he had pretty much had severely injured Hayate. In the first one, I was saying that, like, you know, question mark, because like I did not know that. It was like, I remember playing DOA, I didn't really know the plot to the game. I just liked the fighting. Like, that's what this got me. Like, that's what this got me into. It was just pretty much the fighting. I wasn't focused on the controversy surrounding the game, which is like you know, the sex appeal of the women. They're saying that the women are being like hypersexualized, and it's like, I want to say yes and no about this, because it's like they do have settings where you can go and turn certain things off. And like, it's crazy because on one of the games they had it with like you pretty much could go and control like the boob physics of the game, which is kind of ridiculous. But anywho, getting back to Kasumi, like I said, she was one of the main characters, and she's also like an icon for the series. And pretty much, let's see, pretty much, you know, she's a strong female character. It's like, not just back in 1996 and 1998, she's now. It was like, she's currently in DOA 6, and she's on the cover of DOA 6, and she's pretty much the lead character of the franchise. Well, like I said, she's been down since day one, since 1996. She's been leading this game franchise for quite some time. So it's like, if that ain't no strong female character, then I don't know what you'd call it. Like I said, despite the controversy, despite, you know, her sex appeal and eroticism that they claim that she portrays or whatever. Like I said, you have to, if you look past all that, she's a strong female character on here. I mean, she has a plot. She got revenge. She's a strong, like, ninja warrior princess. And, yeah. That's it, folks. So, the point of this video is to pretty much show y'all that they've made strong female characters then, and they have strong female characters now. And what the problem is, these devs and these writers don't know how to go and create strong female characters anymore. And that, you know, that whole there are no strong female, that's a fallacy. The only problem is y'all don't know how to write strong female characters. And also too, there's other strong female characters too, but because I'm a little pressed for time, here are some honorable mentions.